Hey y'all, welcome back to Lily Her Podcast. I'm your host, Ayana Mariah, and we are back here with another episode. And best of all, it is Spooky Season edition. Spooky Season is not always about the ghosts that's outside our windows. Sometimes it's just about the things that we carry along with us and the new versions of our life or the new versions of ourselves that we're becoming. And we're in October, babes. Like, where has the year gone? I just want us to rethink about all the different things that could be holding us back and the ghosts that could be trailing along with us, even when we might not know. And when I say ghosts, baby, I'm talking relationships, habit, people's, culture pressures that the world puts on us, because nowadays society always got something to say. And I think it's so easy for us to become a victim of what someone else thought or something that we've seen on Instagram that we just pick up, and now it's a belief of our own. And in reality, babe, that's not your belief. That's something that your parent grew up with and enabled you to do as well, and now this is just what you do. This is how you move. But in reality, that's not the case. You are your own person. And the first key to noticing anything is realizing the old habits and old relationships and the cultural pressures that are even riding with us. And honestly, these people and these things that we're talking about are all dressed up as ghosts. We do not know that these carry along with us. And y'all probably like, Ayana, that's not me. I don't have that. That's not the case. Baby, I healed all these things. We done fixed all this last month. But I think that's the tea. That's the kicker. I think a lot of us, we fall short. We're human. Things happen. But sometimes we never really bury these ghostly people. These things and these habits that we have created never died. It never went away. All it actually did was continue to resurface and re-show up in our life. It's time to ask yourself, what keeps creeping up in my life that needs to go away, that I no longer want to hold on with me for the rest of my time being? I think sometimes we forget that we are becoming a whole new version of ourselves. And this version of you does not stop. It continues to go on. Sometimes it's very easy for us to fall back into a past version of ourselves or fall back into old habits and to stay grounded into a goal or accomplishment or a mindset that we set over ourselves. So that's why we're here to remind you all today. First thing I want you guys to really think about is, what is the main thing that is keeping me held back? What is that ghost that is lingering in my life right now? Let's break it down, because the hauntings that we continue to entertain are going to be the ones that we inherit. And those are going to be the ones that we refuse to bury. But in reality, this new version of yourself does not require those type of ghosts as well. She might have got to live on a little bit through the lives that we just was living a couple months ago. But baby, you're a whole new version of yourself now. And reality is going to look different. And I know you're like, Yana, and I know y'all always just be talking great, but I'm gonna break it down for you every time. Your reality will look the same before everything in your life changes. What I mean by that is, even a couple of months ago, I know for me, we talked so many things into existence. And sometimes we have plans and goals for ourselves and we don't know how it's going to look. We don't know when it's going to happen. But honestly, all it is up to us is to stay a course with the goals that we have ahead and to move like we are already the best version of ourselves. Like I tell you guys every time. With this being said, your reality is going to be the last thing to change. You're going to be moving different, acting different, cutting people off, just feeling like you are too better for the world. And that's how you're supposed to feel. If somebody forgot to tell you, that's how you're supposed to feel. When your reality looks different, that's the hardest part. I think that's the most uncomfortable thing to sit with, because it's so easy to sit back into the fact of like, nothing's working. Let me just continue to stay where I'm at. When in reality, that's not the case. When in reality, everything is actually changing for your greater good, and you didn't know. You're not supposed to know. I was talking to one of my friends, and she had said, lean not on your own understanding. And yes, we know that it came from the Bible, but when she had said this to me, it kind of resonated to me at that exact moment, because she'd just been trying to inherit the fact of like not trying to lean on her own understanding or lean on what she knows. And it just really stuck with me because for me, girl, as y'all know, I'm a girl that's going to break it down. I'm going to break it down as best as I can to not only help myself, but to help other people. And I think sometimes it's not for me to break down. Sometimes it's just for me to do what I got to do, make decisions that I know I'm supposed to make, and walk the course and let God do the rest. I think it can be very hard. It can get very confusing because your reality will stay the same. And sometimes your reality will change and it will look way worse than what you expected, what you were just in, all because you want to make a decision that's going to also better yourself. And I'm just here to tell you, babe, like, that's the hard decision you're supposed to be making. Like, you're doing the damn thing. If nobody told you, Ayana's here to tell you you're doing what you're supposed to do. Sometimes we fall short, and that's okay. And that's why I'm here to remind you that you still have to make the best decision for your higher self. Relationships can hold you back, but so can your habits, so can your fears, so can everything that you are worried about. And you are your biggest critic. You are going to be the person that's going to tell yourself, girl, you ain't got no business doing what you're supposed to be doing. But in reality, you have to ask yourself, why do I keep entertaining things that I've outgrown? And like I said, I think this is not only just for y'all, I think this is for me as well, because it's the truth. And I had to ask myself as well, like, why do I keep entertaining things that I've outgrown? And like I said, sometimes we get so caught up in trying to get everything done that life still looks the same in what we see in our life right now. And we cannot take what we are looking at face value. The moves that you're making now is for your higher self, babe. That's exactly who you're moving for. And sometimes we make decisions that aren't always the best. And that's why I said a lot of the times it's the ghost. It's things that we said that, hey, I wasn't going to do this anymore. I wasn't going to mess with that man no more. I wasn't going to go over there no more. I wasn't going to do things for the plot no more. I was going to make these big decisions and things fall short. And that is okay. But today, babe, we're here to recognize it because those ghosts will continue to linger on with you into the new version of yourself that you're supposed to be. And that's not with you to keep. Some things aren't with you to keep and to drag on into this next version of your life. And your reality will continue to look the same if you continue telling the universe that this is what you want. And my little hiatus that I took throughout the course of September, that was something that was like really stuck on my brain as well. Like, you have to make the right decisions for yourself because whatever you're doing is what you're accepting in your life. And you're going to have more of that. You're going to continue to tell the world that, in the universe and God, that this is what you want. This is what I want. This is, feed me more of this. I want this exactly, because you cannot choose to make another decision outside of that. So this is for the girls, this is for the boys that's making the hard decisions, that's deciding that, honestly, it's up to me on how I want to go about the rest of my life. And I want to remind you that every time I come up here, you know I'm going to remind you. I'm going to be the one to remind you, no matter where you are right now, watching this, listening to this. Remember, sit in this. If you have not sat in anything else that I'm saying throughout this whole video, that this is yours. This is your life. This is your world to choose and make any decision that you want. But like I said, those ghosts will follow you if you do not bury them. And I know those ghosts aren't always on you. I know it isn't always. I know you're like, Yana, like, girl, I didn't even know, like, this ain't even something that I'm trying to keep with me. And I understand. I don't blame you. Because sometimes, you know, we are, like I said, we are haunted by people, patterns, habit. And the first thing about, like, the hauntings is that we choose to entertain them. We choose to decide what we want to tolerate, what we like. Even if you are making a hard decision and that will change, that looks like it will be very hard to even sit with for the next couple of months. And maybe the next course of the year, like maybe you don't even know when things are going to change if you make a decision that you just sometimes don't feel like making. But I'm just here to let you know that this ain't the time to carry around them ghosts. We are in October. So we are going right back into, you know, December. And with all of that being said, your New Year's resolutions are going to come back up, and don't wait until December to get things together. If anything, it's something that you can sit with now. The ghosts that we inherit are the old norms and the shadows in us that we continue to let other people say that, yeah, this is the way you should live, when in reality, it's not. Hustle culture is something that I see a lot of us get caught up in. The guilt of like not resting and not knowing that like, hey, it's okay for you to sit the fuck down. Like needing to prove your worth. That's a really big thing for me. Loyalty culture, feeling like you have to stay loyal with somebody while they go through, X, Y, and Z. It is okay for you to leave. Like it's okay for you to live your life. Like I said, if you have not taken anything, it is your life to live. You choose what you want to do. Everything that you continue to choose, those that you continue to carry, just better off proves that this is what you want in your life. And in reality, that's not what you want. A lot of people also have like this thing of feeling like you're carrying everything and the need to be scared, to be soft, or even the fact of feeling like, I'm going to say that I'm like in my soft girl era. In reality, you're pushing down all the bad trauma and trying to be the softest version of yourself. Life is eating you up, and that's okay. It's just something that you need to talk about. I think it's actually very spooky to realize that many of our choices are still being made by the voices that we didn't even put there, by decisions that we took from somebody else that we decided, yeah, that's the way that we should live. When in reality, it's up to you to decide how your reality will look. Even after we name those ghosts, we still have to ask, which ones are we keeping alive? Which ghosts and which habits and which patterns are we deciding that, isn't going to be able to stay here? Because there's some good ghosts and there's some bad ghosts. And for me, think about it. The ghost doesn't make the bad person. It's also a big portion of what we believe in, what we were brought up around, and the things that we decide to tolerate. Ghosts were never like bad ghosts. Something happened before they died to make them a bad ghost, or to make them feel like they needed to be a bad ghost or react in a certain way when it comes down to haunting your ass. Same way if it's a good ghost. It's up to us to choose what we do and how we react now, so that way our ghost won't linger like that in the past. Because whatever you're doing now is what I'm not gonna say what you're gonna die with. That's kind of harsh, but that's not the truth. It's up to you though. It's truthfully up to you with if you want to continue to carry that or not. Do you want that in your past life, or do you don't? In the life that you're living right now, is that something that you want to continue tolerating? Is that something you want to continue dealing with? Is that a feeling that you like dealing with, or no? And for me, some of the most scariest things or the most scariest hauntings are the ones that I refuse to bury. Making the hard decision is very hard. I've said that 1,000 times. And memories will knock at your door. It's up to you to decide what you're going to do, if you're going to entertain them or not. Choices will continue to replay in your head and will make you feel like you're crazy for choosing something that only you want to do. It's up to you to decide what you're going to entertain. And same thing with outgrowing the version of yourself that no longer needs to be kept alive. You are a new version of yourself. In past episodes, we talked about bridging the gap between the foreign and the familiar. And then we talked about how our younger self will be very proud of the version of ourselves that we are today. And how our higher self is very proud of where we're going in just the place that we are at now. And with all that being said, I think sometimes it's very easy for us to forget that it's up to us to change our reality. Your reality will change last. And in everything that we have going on, whether it's a good ghost, bad ghost, baby, it's up to you to decide whether you're going to heal them or not. Lean not on your own understanding of what should happen or what you should expect to happen. It's up to you. Choose your reality, boo. And this ain't no witchcraft. This is the real truth. I think that was a big thing about me deciding to become when I said I was literally her, I was choosing that reality that I was literally going to step in the best version of myself. I just feel like you can't get no more serious than literally. So if that's the case, I literally want to be the best version of myself. I want to be her. I want to have those hard conversations. They're going to make me heal. No matter how deep that ghost trauma runs, maybe we bringing it up. We talking about it, because this cannot be something that lingers with me into the best version of myself that I'm going to be, and the version of myself that I'm going to be for my children, or I'm going to be for, my team, or I'm going to be for my husband or for my family. All of that counts for myself, because that matters the most. With all that being said, it's up to you to choose what your reality is going to look like. Sometimes it can get really scary because the past doesn't need permission to creep back up. It's like I said, it's up to you to decide whether you're going to keep entertaining it or not, boo. And I really want us all to sit back and to think about the things that you're ready to let go and lay to rest so that way you can grow. And with all that being said, it does bring me into one of the last things I wanted to do with you guys today. There is a game that I'll start playing in the course of October that you guys can look forward with. Play from your house. We'll be playing here. If you want to come on the couch, come be a guest. What you waiting for? But if not, you can definitely play from the comfort of your own home. We'll basically be playing like round robin, y'all. And it gives everybody the chance to talk about like candlelight confession of something that's been haunting them, a ghost that's been lingering with them, something that's been bothering them, stressing them out, just something that they have been carrying with in the course of their life. And today I'm going to drop a little gem on y'all. It's just me. So I'm just going to drop mine for y'all. In that case, I think one of the ghosts that has been still haunting me that I think I definitely picked up from my dad is that the fact that I can't rest until I feel like everything on my single to-do list is done. And I know this sounds like, girl, what? But I feel like it's something that will eat me alive because I know how big of a star the girl is going to be. You have to be able to take rest and know when it's time for your body to rest. You can never be the best version of yourself if you always drained and burnt out. Like, that's not a version of myself I want to be. And I just realized that like I'm a to-do list girl, and I have my to-do list for each and every day. And if I don't get that last two things to do on the to-do list, even if I get a really big task done, I still feel like, enough things ain't checked off. And in reality, like, I feel guilty to even shut my eyes at night because I feel like I have other things to get done. And in reality, like, baby, that's not a life to live. That's not a life that my higher self wants to live. And in that case, that's the really scary part that it is to really live in, especially when it comes down to like a candlelight confession or just confessing anything that's bothering you or any ghost that's lingering in your life, because it makes you realize like, okay, now, yeah, this is a problem that I'm having and now I have to fix it. And the ghosts aren't always coming from something that, like I said, it's not always with us. Sometimes it's something that we pick up from other people. It's something that we inherit. It's something that we see, especially in the fact of feeling like we all supposed to be somewhere that we're not, Society already tells us that we're supposed to be in a whole different place at a whole different age range when everybody is really on their own path. So sometimes, there are habits, our culture, and our head. Sometimes it's some other stuff. But tonight, that's something that I'm going to let go of. So, like I said, I want you guys to figure out what your candlelight confession is from y'all house, and then we letting it go, because I'm letting mine go, at least for tonight until, tomorrow's list. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the first Candlelight Confessions and the first solo episode in a long time. If you guys are looking to be a guest on the Lily Her podcast, please do not hesitate to message your girl. If you go to Lily Her podcast on Instagram and click the bio, it gives you all the different links to be able to be a guest for a spooky season, but to also be a guest for a regular episode as well. So you guys definitely hit your girl up to be on the orange couch, especially this spooky season. But I hope you guys enjoy y'all's day and have a good day on purpose. Thank you.